What she did to me was a hate crime.
Grandma doesn't listen to DMX.
I'm getting warm. I'm getting so warm.
This is going to sound so ignorant. What's the deal with the French thing?
I'm sorry, sir. I was just swimming. You're well known for being the most positive and wholesome act you can get in a green
Oh, so
room.
nice.
So we wanted to bring you on to see if we can crack you.
This is a very wonderfully run ship, you guys.
Is it?
Yeah.
That sounded so pointed.
No. It started out, right? So I didn't know. What I love is, like, I didn't know. I was like, oh, they're setting things up. Like, this is just and you're like, we're so sorry. Normally, I was like, you guys, it's great. I've never, you concerned with the lighting? Like, I was like, that's fine. Take your time.
What it is, we are two very distinctly average looking men, and the lighting has to be perfect.
Everything.
Look, as a girl with glasses, if it's lit well, then I can still wear my glasses and you can see my eyes. If it's not lit well, then I just look like a bug, like the whole time. So, like, I appreciate all the beautiful work that went into things. So
You say that, you haven't seen the footage, so we could
I
well
know.
be doing the very thing.
I know.
Just give us credit for that.
I know. Visual mediums.
And you also complimented us on our like attention to detail. I spent a good 10 minutes just stood in that corner, looking at my own camera, going, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what button I'm pressing.
You're
Just
like-
look busy, look like you know what you're doing.
And then it looks professional.
Aaron will come and fix it. You said something that concerned me a minute ago.
Mm.
You just said it willy-nilly, and I mean, I think it's something that only
Willy-nilly.
someone willy-nilly. Yeah.
I like willy-nilly. Yeah.
Solid
I've
sentence
used
there.
that term. Yes.
You just said you love Birmingham. I just want to know.
Oh,
Why?
I was hoping somebody would pick up on this
Yeah.
because I do. I love Birmingham. Here's why I love Birmingham. Because the Midlands, but Birmingham particularly, because it's the capital of the Midlands, right? It is So I feel when you go to Birmingham, it's a very well organized city. Okay. So structural wise, I'm from Canada where I have come from a baby country, and I look at this country and things here drive me crazy, but it wasn't designed for the mass population. But Birmingham set up well. Okay. I like Birmingham. Brummies are the nicest people on earth because out of the whole country, people take the piss out of the Midlands the most.
I think so.
So Brummies are just very easygoing people.
I need to stop you immediately.
You disagree?
You don't drive in this country, do you?
Absolutely, I
Yeah,
don't.
Birmingham's
I
not set
don't.
up well. Literally, everyone that's in their car listening to this right now who has ever driven in Birmingham
It's
is
like
going,
this
she
girl.
has no fucking
She has never
clue
driven.
what she's talking about.
But I argue,
mental. The way in is mental, isn't it?
I'll counteract though. Every city essentially is ridiculous. Like, you get lost in Leeds, good luck.
Oh, yeah.
Good
Yeah,
luck
yeah,
getting out.
that's-
I have never left Leeds in a car the same way twice. Not once. In all my years of getting rides out of Leeds, I'm like, well, I didn't even know this existed. This road was all right. We're going, this looks like an alley, but it's like Narnia. Getting out of Leeds, you're like, I didn't. You take the wrong turn. And so they're every city in this country. But Birmingham, I feel logistically, there's this, I don't know. I just feel it's an accessible city. I think Birmingham's great. I think I'm a big rep for Birmingham. Although my boyfriend told me when I was like, we should move to Birmingham, he's like, yeah, great idea, babe, except for we live in Birmingham. I was like, all right. Yeah.
Well, for me, like as a someone who lives in the northwest, accent is like, it's not so much the accent of the Brummie, it's the rate of speech. We talk like so fast that I feel like everyone in Birmingham or from the West Midlands is just slowed down, and I'm just like, get to the point.
Yeah.
And also the city, I love it. Like the gigs I've done there, like I had to readjust me saying I love it because I don't. I love the gigs I've done there. I found the audiences a boss, but as you get out of the centre, it feels very, very stabby.
Okay.
And
now,
you live in Anfield.
And yeah, Aaron dropped me off at home for the first time in Anfield, just like outside the centre of Liverpool the other day. The first thing he saw as he turned into my street was a rat run across the road.
okay. I live in Moss Side in Manchester.
Okay.
So, like, do I, street cred?
Yeah.
I have street cred.
You get the
right?
street cred with
Thanks.
that.
When I first moved here, I lived in, I don't want to brag, but I lived in Withenshaw. Withenshaw, perhaps you've heard of
Sorry, You're
it.
doing well.
With the Y, Withenshaw with a Y.
Yeah.
Wivenshaw.
Maybe you've heard of it. Yeah, that's where I lived. So Withenshaw moved down the Parkway to Moss Side. So I'm all about
The ghetto.
Well,
Where did you live in Canada? Was it nice there?
oh, so I come from a place called Calgary, Alberta.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. So kind of by the Rocky Mountains. Yes. Where
Sounds pleasant.
it's beautiful. Where I grew up in a place called Lake Bonavista. That was the name of the neighborhood.
Oh,
We had a lake. You could go swimming in the lake, a man-made lake. It's like perfectly designed, wide roads, good structure.
Kids come and shovel the snow off your drive.
Absolutely, like it's
We've got
so.
the Mersey. The Mersey's all right. Isn't it?
Yeah. It was
That
lovely.
rat that ran across your road came from that Mersey.
I've gone swimming in the Mersey.
Have you really?
Have you?
There was warnings saying don't do it. Like blue-green algae, you can get ill.
Well, you know why you're not supposed to go swimming in the Mersey?
Why?
Poo.
Yeah.
The end.
So matter of fact.
Poo.
I mean, but
That's the whole thing.
Liam.
Swimming in the water around here. Like I have a friend who does open seawater swimming, and I want to do it. I love swimming so much with all my heart and soul. It's one of my greatest joys. Danny, my boyfriend, always says, if you could just look at me with the same eyes that you look at a swimming pool with. And I was like, I know, because I love swimming. But all around here, no.
yeah.
Not safe.
No, I don't. I'm not proud of it. I wish I never did it.
Well, but
That being said, I mean, I never felt like it never felt dirty when I was in it because it was like a little closed off dock when I was doing it as a kid. But I went on holiday to like Salou in Spain, like a tourist area, and I was just swimming in like the sea, the ocean, whatever it is, I'm not sure. And I was like with my little brother, and he was just like, there was a floating rock, and he was like, Liam, pass me that rock. And I reached for the rock, and just as I was about to touch it, processed that it was a big fat turd. And I'd been swimming in the water, my mouth open in this water, and I swam back as if I was getting chased by a shark.
yeah.
Like I've never moved that fast
so
in the
you
water.
confirm my theory.
Yeah.
What happened to you confirms my theory.
Yeah.
Poo.
Poo. Yeah, as soon as you said poo, I had like a Vietnam veteran
I
flashback to that
know.
moment.
I can beat that. So there's a place near me, well, near where I used to live, rather, and there was just like a bit of a river stream, and you know, on one side there was a farm, and on the other side was like public access where people walk the dog and stuff. And it was a really nice day, and the water seemed like pretty clear and stuff, and it seemed fine. So we got in it, and me and my pal, and we were just sort of swimming along. And then we went under a bridge onto the other side where this guy's farm was, and we were just prattling about for about 20 minutes, and then the guy came out of a shotgun.
Nice.
And was like, what are you doing? And I just went, is that a shotgun? And he was like, oh, this, and then just put it behind him. But he had a legit shotgun, and I was like, I'm sorry, sir, I was just swimming. So you had a turd, he had a shotgun.
I thought you were going to tell us he shot you with poo out the gun.
Shot you with poo. You shot yourself upon seeing the gun.
Yeah. So that poo that was in your Mersey might have been from
Might
me
have been
traveling
poo.
around.
Overall poo.
So you
was
no
foul.
poo in the lake in Lake Bonavista? Did you, is it
Well,
by
like,
now or
I don't
by-
know, kids might have. You know what I mean? But like, for the most part, I grew up in a really nice neighborhood, but we were like the ghetto house on the neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But my dad's like, we will get in this neighborhood. We will get in Lake Bonavista. We don't belong, but I will send you to school.
Yeah.
So you have dreams and ambitions. We don't have what they have, but I'll show you what's out there. Yeah. So I grew up, but it was really nice where I grew up, Calgary, Alberta. The other thing that I always like people to know about Calgary, Alberta, Canada, is there is a thing called the Stampede. Have you ever heard of the Stampede? You know what a Stampede
That's
is?
the thing that killed me fast. Yeah, I've heard of
Exactly
it.
what
Yeah.
my brain
No.
goes to as well. Wildebeest and that.
Cowboys, the rodeo, a stampede. A stampede.
It's an event.
Yes. So a whole bunch of cowboys from around the world come together and they do things like bronco riding and chuck wagon racing. So Calgary Stampede is the largest where this happens once a year. Cowboys from all over the world come and compete. So that's what Calgary is. But nobody in the UK knows what the Stampede is. Calgary Stampede, no idea. So I go back home and everyone's like, oh, you know, the Stampede.
crazy.
I was like, no, you know how they know Calgary? The 1988 Winter Olympic Games where we had Eddie the Eagle. And the Jamaican bobsled team. That was our year. That's where that's Calgary. Two great movies made
that
from our
Eddie Eagle
year.
movie's
From
good.
our year.
Yeah.
That's how everyone knows Calgary.
Well, when you said Calgary, my brain did go, Cowboys? Like,
Cowboys,
So,
Cowtown.
is it-
It's
is it
also
known for
where the Hart family, you know, for wrestling.
Bret Hart, yeah.
The
The best
Harts
there
are
is.
from Calgary. The dungeon where his dad,
Is
Calgary, Alberta.
Didn't one of them die? I don't really know too much about wrestling.
Yeah,
Owen
early in the
Hart,
day.
yeah.
It was a
he died.
heartbreaking moment for everyone.
Yeah, 'cause
also,
see, it's not a
Calgary is
fun.
where The Rock that is on your thing there,
Yep.
lovely Dwayne,
Homeboy.
who I love The Rock. I've always loved The Rock. I knew he was going to be something fantastic. I did.
When did he creep onto your radar?
You know what?
Yeah.
Well, he was a part of the Calgary Stampede football team. They had a second string, and he was on the Calgary second string football team. And that was where he started to think about his life and what was he going to do? Was he going to go back into wrestling like his father? And he had a real moment in his life, and it was while he was in Calgary. And I was like, Calgary, it makes you really want to leave Calgary.
So it's not where Dwayne was born. It's where The Rock was born.
It's where The Rock began. Yeah, man. It's not where you're born. It's where you begin.
Pink shirt, you know.
You're so insecure about that pink shirt.
I'm wise, literally.
You mention it as much as...
This is why I wore it.
Because today's the day, I'll never take the piss out of a shirt like that.
I knew you'd be positive.
It's a good color on you.
Thank you
it's
very much.
It's a pop of color.
Yes.
It's summer.
That's what I wanted to hear.
There's a girl wearing all black. Celebrate, right?
Last time I wore it was on the podcast a good few weeks back.
When wore it in public
I have not wore it since Jamie Hutchinson came on and said I look like an average dad. And I thought, if anyone's going to give me...
Projecting.
No, he looks like a shit dad.
That's even worse.
Yeah, it is.
Poor Jamie. Sorry, Jamie.
I'm going to wear this more often. I don't usually wear vibrant colours like this.
I like it.
Yeah, you did bring up a good point, to be fair, and this is why we've wanted to get you on for a while. I feel like you're well known in the industry for being the most positive and wholesome act you can get in a green room.
Oh, so nice. Yeah.
So we wanted to bring you on to see if we can crack you.
Yeah. It's so great, because I saw it, I was like, oh, this is actually not very on brand for what I am. This is the absolute opposite. Because look, I'm not a happy person all the time, but I think with people I generally...
Tell us
there's got to be some scum underneath, isn't there?
Oh, yeah. I'm a bitter, angry person. I just don't. In general, I'm like, keep it to yourself, or slowly open up as people.
The podcast to do that. Let it out. Yeah. Let it out. Change the perception of Allyson Smith.
When we were talking as we were setting up, you seemed to be very angry at your local takeaway.
Oh, I am. I had a thing that happened that I wasn't expecting. So I live in a neighborhood. There's a good amount of things, but when you fall in love with a place and then it's like
Calgary, yeah.
Yeah. You're like, I will get from this place, and I got from this place for I don't even know how long. And one day we got this delivery, and it was just awful. It was shit. Like, it wasn't anything.
That's the first time I've heard you curse.
Yeah, well, it was so bad. Like, it was because it was what I wanted, and I had been ordering there for years. Me and Danny ordering there for years, and it came, and it was just shit. I threw it all away. We threw every single bit of it away. Every single bit of it. It was so bad. There was nothing that was salvageable. And maybe I was angry because the things I loved were bad, so then everything tasted like shit. But I have a sneaking suspicion it was bad. So I called and complained, and she was like, well, I spoke. Listen to these words, please. I spoke. Thank you for your call. But I spoke to the new kitchen chef. And he said everything was fine with the food. Okay, so I've been a regular customer for how many years? Your new chef says it's A-okay. First time I've gotten from him, I hate the whole order. You're going with the chef. All right, that's cool. Well, we'll offer you a discount for future. There will be no future. We're done.
You had one shot, one opportunity.
You didn't even try. So I was done.
Can I just say, this is really big talk from someone that comes from a country where turkey bacon was created. Like,
there's nothing wrong with turkey bacon. What are you talking about?
I've just got into it.
Because
recently.
If you're trying to cut back on fat intake, and there's nothing wrong with trying to do that, just generally health-wise, turkey is an excellent source. It makes a nice bacon.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You're not against.
I had strong
I'm not saying
views against
regular
it.
bacon is wrong. I'm not saying that.
I always thought turkey bacon was dry as hell, and it was the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
And that was the problem. I was cooking it. It's too hot, too fast.
Yeah.
I cook it low and slow, and it's. Let's be honest. It's not pork. It's
No,
not proper bacon.
No, it's not. What you're doing is cutting back your fat. Nothing's fun about that.
Yeah.
You will eat leather, and you will learn to like eating leather. It takes longer to chew. There's advantages to it. It's dry, but yeah.
I had it for breakfast today. I don't know why I felt
Did you have it with beans? If you have it with beans, you won't even know. You wouldn't even notice.
I had it on like a wrap, but then I feel I'm going into
talk food. All I ever want to do. I did a radio.
I feel like Canada though does have pretty shitty food. Like, there's no Canadian restaurants.
You never had poutine?
There's no Canadian restaurants.
Well, because Canada is a multicultural country, which means we have fine cuisine from all over the world. We would not be a country without people from all over the world coming to settle in Canada. So Canada is actually so multicultural that there wouldn't be a Canadian dish.
You're so calm while shutting me down.
Thanks. This is what
I mean about how positive you are. Like if I slagged off the country of anyone else, you'd be like, listen, you don't have a fucking clue what you're talking about.
I'm
you're
just
like, excuse me.
Here's some facts. Here's why you're wrong.
Point, evidence, and explain.
But poutine, you tell me this. I love that you know about poutine, for those of you from Quebec.
Okay.
I don't speak, I'm not. But just to put it out there. You've had poutine? Mm-hmm. You like poutine?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I've had good and bad poutine.
But you know poutine. So tell me this. As a person here in the North, and I mean in England as a whole, but particularly the North, would you say poutine would go over really damn well in the North?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because what is poutine?
It's essentially chips, cheese, and gravy.
Does that not sound delicious?
But the cheese isn't quite like, it's not like normal cheese.
No, because what is it?
It's like squeaky, isn't it?
It's squeaky cheese. It's cheese curds.
As in halloumi.
Kind
of similar to halloumi, but...
Halloumi makes noise.
Yeah, but it goes stringy. So I know halloumi doesn't go stringy ever, which I love halloumi, but curds go a little... I don't want to upset halloumi people out there.
Literally looking at the camera, by the way, guys.
I'm sweating. I'm like, people are going to stop watching.
I'm worried. But yeah, it's great. I think it's great. Poutineries are what they're called. They have them all over... Well,
There's
more
one
and
in
more.
Liverpool.
Yeah. Poutineries are becoming popular. They're lovely.
You mentioned before that there's a lot of things in the UK that you don't like. Like there's things about the UK, not necessarily food, because some of our food is fucking horrendous.
That was a very evil
interesting.
laugh.
But what do you hate about our fine country, aside from everything that we also hate about it?
Well, God.
I feel like the UK, like if somebody not from the UK says they hate the UK, or just England in general, then we get quite defensive. But if someone from England says that England's shit,
you're okay with
like,
it.
yeah, for sure.
You understand.
I don't get that, because I personally, I guess if I'd there'd be things that I would miss if I went and moved abroad, say Australia or something. There's things I would miss about the UK, but on the whole, it's just annoying, isn't it?
I mean, there's worse places to be, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's like North Korea exists. I get that, but the traffic and
it's patriotism I don't understand. I don't mind the UK. I mean, it's not really governed well, but let's be honest. People complain about the way things are, and they have every right to. Yeah. I complain about the way things are, but they're still the best they've ever been. Like I would not want to have been born 100 years ago.
Yeah, but also petrol prices were 99p 2 years ago. So like, I don't think they're the best they've ever been. They're the best, compared to 100 years ago, but I feel like things were better 2 years ago when, I could go to London for 40.
I'm with you. I could take a train. Yeah. Virgin trains used to have sales for £11 to go to London.
Oh, it's
Back in the day, I would take train £11 to get to London.
Oh, no,
My goodness.
I would just go to London because I've got nothing to do.
I bought so many of those tickets when there was a sale. I was like, whatever, I'll just buy one. For every Friday.
You get a ticket.
Hey, who wants a ticket? Yeah, it was great. But yeah, okay. So things that I find okay. I mean, it's hard because I've been here about 10 years now. So I've really learned that
Brexit's not worked, has it?
No, but I came with a passport, motherfuckers. I am going nowhere. I came in like, I'm part of this. Like, hello, it's your monarchy sister. Let me in. I know how this works. Like, and I came right here. My dad's from Manchester, so not here. We're in Runcorn right now. Don't worry, everyone listening in the UK. I know my areas. This is how sensitive I am. Like, you got to be aware of your environment because people are very. We're from here. It's a very
territorial.
Yes, it's so territorial. I've never known. I didn't know that. Like in Canada, there would certainly, people are from different areas, but here it's like they're from over. By that street. Like I remember the first time I went to Salford and I accidentally said I was in Manchester, and what a ruckus occurred.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm sorry, I forgot I crossed the road.
I literally don't
Therefore, I mean, so this city, this country is very tiny. So I come from Canada. It's so huge. So I think the biggest change for me was adjusting to the idea of size of everything, like the amount of people, the sizes of things. Like even I'd go in people's houses and they felt old. I was like, God, your stairway is so narrow. Why is it so, I feel so big in this country because everything was built back in a day where like humans were tinier. Like the structure of this country, like, so it's amazing, but you're like, God, it's very tight. People are crammed in, like, so that's one thing it took getting used to. Would I say I hate it? I mean, I'm used to it, everyone. I don't have a problem with the country, but that was something that took me a minute.
I can sort of get that though. Like I said on last week's episode, we went to my girlfriend's mum and dad have a caravan, and we went there for a few days over bank holiday. And the amount of times this right shoulder fucked up.
Oh, I bet. Did you bang into everything?
The whole fucking time I was like,
you're Mr. Tall and lanky though. Fucking
yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
I'm rolling through
and the doorway was like that much thinner, and it changed my entire world. And I said to Beth, I was like, I'm going to stub my toe so much over this weekend. And she was like, oh, you'll get used to it. I didn't. No. I didn't.
No.
How can you wouldn't?
You would if you spent a lot of time, but your spatial awareness is you are of a different body size. Yeah, so you get space. Space is, it takes a minute.
When you say like the scale of everything, do you mean like the sheer amount of people, or like is
both?
Is Canada
all
like,
of it?
Is Canada superpopulated? Because I know Australia's fucking massive, but it's not.
There's less people in Canada than there is here.
Yeah.
And Canada is what? I don't know. I am not claiming to be a geography expert. Like, what is it? 3 times, 4 times the size of the country? 5. And there's less people in Canada than there is on this country. Like it's
that sounds like a dream though, because
there's
nothing I hate more than just people in my way.
Oh, you could. There's space. Yeah, there's more space.
Well, then I suppose like comedy in Canada is probably
hard. That's
there's not
why
as many people, and there's so many. There's probably not as many clubs. Whereas
that's
here, every
exactly
major city has a club, and if it isn't a major city, it's probably got 4 comedy nights in the area.
Yeah. Yeah. So overall, it's interesting because again, I know industries change, but I knew coming here, Canada's industry for comedy, it was like, I don't want to say it was dying, but there was less.
Sorry to interrupt, but how long were you gigging in Canada? How long were you?
I had been going in Canada for about like 9 years.
Okay. So
yeah, I had worked in Canada.
Time,
yeah. So I came here and I thought, well, at the very least, I'll learn a second market. But a lot of people were saying England was so great for comedy because it was just seen as more, it was a regular thing. Pubs were always putting on shows. Shows were always happening. There were comedy clubs. It was still in a boom. It was like karaoke. The boom wasn't over yet. People were still going to karaoke clubs. I was like, really? Oh my God, I'm a karaoke expert. So I was like, I'm going to the UK. And overall, because again, live entertainment, people, there is a market and people see it as more of an actual like art craft. So I literally came over and people were like, the industry's dying. I was like, you don't know what a dying industry is. I feel like I've hit a boom. Like it's, yeah. So things shift. But yeah, definitely. I would say, I mean, I came here because there was, the same thing. It took me an adjustment, a period of time to get used to the amount of people, but it was that amount of people that gave me a career. So bless.
Yeah. But what was like the travel times like for gigs? Obviously, I'll complain if I have to drive to Sheffield.
Yes, Sheffield. Well, you got to go Snakes Pass. Let's talk about that. I don't even want to get started. See, I know the North. Snakes Pass is a nightmare.
Have you seen Simon Wozniak's routine on Snake Pass?
No, but
one of the best pieces of stand-up.
There's so many things that could happen. Yeah.
Last time I was on Snake Pass, the person in front of me was a taxi driver, and he was driving so sheepishly that like started ringing alarm bells, because taxi drivers have all the confidence, don't they? They drive for a living. They're on the roads all the time. Yep. And he was going so slow, but I'm slow, and I'm a worrier, and he was annoying me with how slow he was going. And then I noticed he was a bit like wobbly on the lanes, and I'm like, this guy's pissed. And there's nothing more daunting to me than the idea of driving pissed on Snakes Pass. Like, why on earth would you do that?
Driving behind someone pissed on Snakes Pass. Yeah. Also terrifying.
Well, I would just try to keep my distance, because if he's going over the edge, I'm not.
Terrifying. Yeah. But no, I'm with you. Yeah. I would say, like, look, sometimes there'd be some gigs in the city I lived in, but like you're usually looking, I mean, the next biggest city, like big city, is 3 hours away. So like,
That's like, yeah, that's
you know, you
significant.
drive, yeah. But like, you go to gigs that are like 5 hours away, 6 hours away.
Yeah.
And then to fly across Canada, like I always tell people this, for me to fly from Manchester to Calgary, for me to fly across Canada from one side to the other, it's almost the same amount of money. Like,
Oh, really? Yeah.
Canada's huge, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't
no.
know
It is
that.
wild, yeah.
I thought domestic would be much
I
cheaper.
listen to a lot of American podcasts, and they say like they'll be driving, they'll have gigs somewhere, and they'll be going catching a flight to it, and it just seems so.
Yeah,
Like-
within a country, you're like, really?
Yeah,
Well, that's what I mean. Trains here. You got trains. Trains is not a common thing. That shows the size
Is
of
it
a
not?
country.
Do you come from the third world?
You fly or you drive. But like here, I was like, trains? Trains. Oh my God, I'll take trains places. So you take a train. Oh, I'll get off at this
This
station.
is why you're so positive. You come from a slum. That's what it is.
No, I come from a
it's-
high
yeah,
end.
it
I come
sounds
from
like paradise.
because Calgary is also like, I'll put it in the terms of the States. It's like Calgary, Alberta is like Dallas, Texas. We are the oil and gas. We are like,
Oh,
you know what I
really?
mean?
Yeah.
People are
Cha-ching.
driving big trucks. Yeah, yeah. The idea of like a train is like, and there is Via Rail in Canada, but again, it's so far that like these are long haul trains. It's not like, there are some trains, but not a lot of people are like, I'll just go to Vancouver via train. No, you'll get on a plane and fly to Vancouver, so you're there that day. Like you want to go check out Vancouver. It's very
What's the? This is going to sound so ignorant, but I really don't know much
I'll
about
take
Canada.
it. Yeah,
We're just quizzing you on Canada.
I like
It's
it.
just
I
because I'm
like
dead
it.
interested. Yeah, that's all.
My friend Haley Ellis would laugh so hard right now. She's a comedian, so funny, because we did this radio show, and every day I would bring up, and she's like, "Oh, let me guess, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Home of there's a Calgary Stampede." So if she ever sees this, she'll be like, "Oh, you got the information out on another fucking show, did you?" I'll be like, "Yeah, go on,
Spreading the
sorry.
word.
Yeah."
Putting Calgary on the map. This is going to sound so ignorant. What's the deal with the French thing in Canada?
Oh, okay. So there is.
That sounded so racist.
I know. I was like,
Imagine you were like, "What's the deal with all the black people?" It's so heavy.
to our listeners, the Quebecois, our French Canadians, I will teach them now.
Yeah, educate me. That's what I want.
Yeah, so we are a dual language country. So French is as much of a language of Canada as is English. So even as a child, I would take French. You take French up to a certain period, so you learn like a base amount of French.
Yeah.
Because of, when we became a country and they part of the fur trade, and the French were part of the I don't want to say First Nations, because the First Nations were the First Nations, but it was like back in the day. French were like part of the original. It was like, if Canada were superheroes, it was, and all the superheroes came together and formed their universe. Therefore,
You're putting it in terms I can understand.
yeah, I'm like, we have given the French, hey, you are, yeah.
Francis the Hulk.
Yeah, Francis the Hulk.
And it just came in and basically went, I'm having this.
And we were,
She's gone, "You're a fat nerd. What about this?
Listen.
How can I explain this in Avengers terms?"
I've got breakdowns. Yeah. So they're one of the superheroes. So we're like, you bet. And and everything is in French and English, English and French. So where I'm from, it's like English first, then they'd have a French. Like if you flew on a plane, they'd be like, here's your French, then your English. Everything is French and English. Yeah.
Is there any animosity between
Yes.
two sides? Yeah.
Yes. There
I'm
can
just
be.
laughing because you
There
said that.
can be pretty quick.
In the
Yeah.
nicest, friendliest way ever. Yeah, there's hatred.
You mean
He also said it with an undertone of, "Yeah, fuck the French." Like,
well, no.
Putting words in your mouth.
I know. I'm not picking fights with the French.
anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys.
I'm fully aware. Like there is, it's funny though. You talk to people from France about people from Canadian French. They're like, "Yes, but that's not really French." And I'm like, "Whoa, I'm not getting into that fight. I'm not getting into that fight. I'm not involved. That is you guys." Fight amongst yourselves. I have had French people say that to me. I'm like, "Woo!" You say, "Oh yeah, it would be." Anyway, yeah, let's trust me. People will mail in
Really?
both French and English, and then you'll be double.
We'll just be happy for the viewing numbers.
Yeah.
All publicity is good publicity.
What's up, guys? The podcast is growing, and we're dead happy, but we need your help.
What we need is for you to start sending us in your most embarrassing moments, the worst things that you've ever done to yourself or someone else, and most importantly, what you want to get off your chest.
So email us in at spreadnegativitypod@gmail.com, and if it's not shit, we'll read it out in a future episode. But I've got faith in you. It'll be fine. Pause it here. Go and send us something in, and then we'll read it out. Do it.
And as always, if you could like, comment, and subscribe, give us 5-star ratings on all the platforms that'll let you do it. It just means that more people will find us, and it's a big, big help.
Like we said, the podcast is growing quicker than we expected, and we're buzzing with the support. We really are, but we want to grow bigger. If you can, please keep telling your friends about us. Drop the link to the episode into your group chats and help us spread more negativity. You're the greatest. We love you. Let's get back to the episode.
Bumblebee, bumblebee.
Red leather, yellow leather. I used to be a drama teacher. What else do you need? Do you want some? I can do vocal warmers. What's the other one I like? I'll have a proper cup of coffee from a proper cupper. I messed it up.
Talking all big.
And then I messed it up.
I used to be a drama teacher.
I used to teach
hang on. Yeah, sorry guys. I messed that one up.
Tip of the tongue, the teeth, and the lips.
Yes, tip of the tongue, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips.
Just sing it, yeah.
Yeah.
I get it though. I do get it. You don't want to get all tongue-tied and that.
No, you got to warm up. You got to. Do you ever warm up before comedy? I have never once warmed up before comedy.
I don't warm up, but I can't go from like sitting down to being on stage. Like Danny McLaughlin, I can't understand how he does what he does. I genuinely, I was doing Hot Water and he was hosting it, and he, no bullshit, was eating Wagamamas at the back of the room, and Binty was like, "You good to go?" And he was like, yeah, sweet.
Yeah,
and
totally
you could tell like Binty looked at him. Maybe it wasn't Binty, maybe it was just like the showrunner, but he was like, you could tell he was looking at him and was like, "You're eating katsu curry. Like, are you sure you're good to go?" And he was like, yeah, sweet. And they announced him, and he went, chewed everything he had in his mouth down, and was just like, he was in the room. And I was like, that's fucking, because I have to be stood up for about 10 minutes before I go on, and just I'm moving about a lot, and like, yeah.
It depends what I'm doing. If I'm doing new stuff, I'm a lot more like, I need just a bit of space just to try and like, because I don't know the wording of it yet, so I'm just trying to try and figure out that words might be comfortable in my mouth. You know, they never really are at first for me anyway. But yeah, not like, I don't really need. Maybe some if I'm doing it, I don't know why I'm struggling. I fucking seems like I could have done with sitting and gathering myself before started talking on the podcast, because I can't get my words out. Yeah, those vocal warm ups did me fucking no good.
They do worse. Don't do them. That's what we discovered.
They did me no fucking good.
Vocal warm ups. Fuck them. Fuck them. I say that's the new vocal warm up. Fuck you.
I'm actually giving a monologue as Yoda, so it is working out for me. Yeah, I'm doing backwards speech. But now I'm pretty much the only thing I like to do is just drink some water to just sort of, I'm trying to say this not like a weirdo, but wet me whistle.
Yeah. Do you know what else really helps?
Like a weirdo,
if you think you have gummy mouth, you know what I mean? Like those days you take a bite of an apple. That is what voice actors do. A bite of an apple, because it's so crisp.
That's the craziest thing to me, because I thought when you said gummy mouth, I was like, oh, the feeling that an apple gives you. In my head, the second you said that, because that gives you like furry teeth and that.
Oh, that's funny. See, and apparently apple is supposed to help you.
To fix it.
Yeah, but I'm bad with this. I once got convinced when I was eating a slush, you know, those like fucking little frozen cocktails. I don't know, I'm speaking to you like you're fucking from the third world.
No, but they could be called something different, but I call them a slush. Yeah.
But like I was eating one of those and I got brain freeze, and my pal was like, "Oh, to get rid of it, you just eat more of it dead quick." And I was like, "Oh, sounds great." And I was like,
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That is not a friend.
No, that was.
But it's not a friend.
But I was so gullible. I was like, "Oh yeah, sounds like it's a really good idea."
Could you imagine if it worked though? You'd be like, "Wow, that is."
Yeah, that would. Yeah, you would be a hero. Yeah.
You would be a hero.
The apple wouldn't work for me. Like, I can't remember the last time I ate an apple and didn't get so angry that the skin was stuck in my teeth. I think I just eat it wrong. I think I eat an apple like.
I mean, that's a possibility. Certain apples, their skin is harder than others too.
Yeah, especially the ones from Liverpool.
I bet they've got they're thick-skinned apples in Liverpool.
I'm looking out.
Pink lad apples. Come on. So proud of that.
If I could do any accent, I often wish I could do a Scouse accent. I wish I could do. I'm so bad at accents, but I do wish I could do a Scouse accent, just because I like
it. Go for it and try.
Don't you fucking... No, I can't do that. Is that good?
Never do that again.
No, I know. Did you fucking... No, I'm sorry. I apologize right now to every Scouser. Please don't.
I'm not Scouse, you know.
Are you not? Where are you
It's
from?
like that territory thing you were
Are
talking
you
about.
Warrington? Are you Warrington?
I mean, I'm not that kind of fucking wall.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
There's other
Allison.
walls that are worse than the type of wall I
Hey,
am,
let's
Allyson,
speak
and
of,
that's one of them.
angry patriotism. Go
We
on.
do
Yeah.
not have a fucking IKEA, all right? I'm from I'm from Wallasey, which is the other side of the Mersey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, literally directly opposite. In fact, I'm gonna I'm not gonna say it because people come after me. I was gonna argue Wallasey's better. It's not. But one thing is better about Wallasey. You have the view of Liverpool. So that amazing like city skyline. I get to look at. I'd rather be on that side looking at the city than on the city side looking at a shithole.
Ain't it looking out?
Yeah. But I'm from Wallasey, so I get called a wool. I'm not welcome. If I'll like do a bit about where I live in Liverpool, in like Newcastle, and I might just say something about my missus and say she's more Scouse than me, and I will get like a tap on my shoulder at the end of the gig and go, "You're not from Liverpool, you're from the Wirral, aren't you?" And I'm like, "What the? I thought I could get away with it here."
Is that what the Wirral is?
Yeah,
Is
the
that-
Wirral.
I've had it because obviously I'm from Stockport originally, which is
thought
like
you-
Yeah.
Greater
Let's talk.
Manchester.
Yeah, that's like Salford. That's
and
like.
I went to Greece, and the guy behind the counter was Greek as fuck. I don't know whether that's the right terminology, but this guy was Greek as fuck, right? And he said, he goes, where are you from? I don't know if that's a Greek accent, probably better than your Scouse, so.
Probably.
But like, he was just like, where are you from? And I was like, Manchester. And he goes, what is your postcode? I went,
yeah.
SK3. He went, Stockport.
So you are Stockport. Yeah. So many Macs have been through Greece. I bet you that's funny. I bet you he looks to see where people are from. Yeah.
Yeah, sad twat. Hate him.
Oh,
I felt like such a knobhead. I was from Manchester, me. Yeah. But to be fair, the only reason I do that is because people haven't heard of Stockport. Like, I'll tell people I'm from Stockport. I'm not, and I will say Greater Manchester if people are. But I was in Greece. So like man, he's not gonna fucking know.
That's
It
why
turns out he did.
I'm the same, and I just feed to the because people think that everyone from Wallasey wishes they were Scouse, so I'm feeding that lie when it's like but it's just easier on stage, innit?
Sure, I get you. Yeah.
Yeah. The time we met actually, that Manford's gig we did together, you did something that I've never known anyone to do before, and I think it should be encouraged more in the industry.
What did I do?
You brought your dog to the gig.
I did bring my dog to the gig.
Oh, I love that.
Because
Why didn't you bring the dog to the pod?
Well, had I known, now I know that's an option. I will next time because he's little and you can take him places. But because Danny drove me to, honestly, that's why Danny and I like to do gigs together to promote us out there. We do gigs together because then we can take the dog. We just got a little dog. We just need to take him. And yeah, he's a great little dog. He's
What breed?
That's cool.
And they're great at Manford's. They're like, yeah, bring the dog. Especially if it's like a venue that's like, yeah, you just keep them in the back or,
Yeah.
you know, and they've got a door that you can go outside right away. It's perfect. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm glad. Because
I
I
love
think
dogs.
sometimes it's annoying. I don't want to be a bit much. I don't want people to like be like, oh, her and her dog. But
I think if you're not a dog person,
it is.
I don't know if I can trust you the same way.
Well, it's just I don't think non-dog people know what being a dog parent is.
Dog parent. Fucking hell.
I'm sorry. I'm
Is
sorry, everyone.
Is he a kid?
Have you got an
Yeah,
Instagram
yeah,
page
for
for
sure.
your dog?
For sure. Yeah. Well, no, I don't do Instagram though.
Okay, good.
I hardly do Instagram for me, you guys. I
find that
gotta get my shit
genuinely-
together.
I
Let alone
find that just complete
people have the
lunacy.
time?
When
How
they
do people
reply
have the
as the
time?
dog.
Thanks so much.
Oh, I had a nice treat today.
Hope you don't have
what
a
is
rough
wrong with
day.
you?
Like,
Having a
As
rough
if you're
day.
dropping
That's
into the
great, though.
DMs saying like, oh yeah, sorry, I just fucking shouted.
no,
over that.
that's fine. Shout. It deserves shouting.
But yeah, you said that as if you slide into the DMs like, oh, nice walk you had there, lad. Do you always have to get them back to you?
Yeah, it's complete lunacy. I don't understand these people, and you see it at like. You know, I've genuinely you'll get followers after a gig, and it's like, oh, it's Chester the Yorkshire Terrier who's followed you. It's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Why have you posted about me on your story? You are a fucking. I don't
have
get it.
opposable thumbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are not real. You are not doing this. Yeah.
So strange.
They annoy me.
I don't understand it.
The reason I remember it so vividly though is you gave your dog a very interesting treat. It was like some fucking yak's milk.
Oh yeah, yak's milk.
Like
yeah.
dried yak's milk.
Yeah, it literally is that. It's yak's milk. It's like a cheese, but it's really hard, and they really chew on it.
Yeah.
And then we get the little bit of it. You just add some water, and then you microwave it, and it puffs up, and it's like a big crisp for them. It's so fun.
It's like
That's so cool.
versatile. So where are the yaks in the UK? Who's milking these yaks?
I don't know, but you could get a lot of yak milk online. That's all I know.
can get anything
police.
online.
If anyone knows a better place I can get yak milk, let me know. Right now, I'm going on eBay and I got a good deal. But if there's some yak milk, guys.
yak milk on the dark web.
Oh my god!
Invested in Bitcoin.
He
It's the
loves
most
it.
Canadian thing ever, that, isn't it? Like, we'll get Yak's milk, like the Yanks are getting guns, you know what I mean? Whereas Canadians just like, no, I get a treat for my dog.
Just sustainable stuff we're all about.
That's a Calgary thing.
That is a Calgary thing. Yak milk. Yeah, my little dog.
Should we do some features?
Yeah, definitely.
Let's do it.
We don't really have features, and we don't do them that often. So I don't know if you can call them features.
Yeah, we get
per
caught
se.
up on our own bullshit.
Yeah, we just waffle too much. Like, but to be fair, I've noticed a lot of our podcasts are like 2.5 hours long. We keep it an hour. We don't want much of your time, but
I really appreciate that. We
consequently-
don't need more than an hour of us. Yeah.
Yeah, we're
That's
not.
accurate. Give them the best bits.
Yeah, sometimes we don't even do that.
Only give them the 40 minutes of technical setup.
Yeah,
That's what I want your listeners to get. 40 minutes of tech setup.
yeah, real tight ship. But yeah, man, we often sometimes we do a few questions and stuff.
Okay.
So we have a few questions for you. We want to know, like we said before, you're super positive, you're super wholesome, you're all about just being nice to people. We want to know what the worst thing you've ever done to someone was. We want the worst thing you've ever done, the worst thing you've ever said, maybe, or a situation you found yourself in.
I think the worst thing I ever did, and once someone confronted me, I remember I did this. So in junior high, no, I'm going to say high school. I was grade 10. So what is that, like 15? I guess 15.
Yeah,
I was
15.
And
No,
14,
it works
15.
differently. I've done it.
Year
Yeah.
11's 15, 16.
Yeah.
Year 10's 14, 15.
so I think
Your
14,
knowledge of this
15.
worries me.
Yeah, that's a bit
I
concerning.
like that you really know ages.
Man like Davide, yeah.
And legalities go like this in this country. Okay, so I was always so
Your Honour.
Your Honor. It's true. I'm sorry I brought that joke in, everyone. But so I got bullied a lot. I tended to be a bit more of a victim of things. But apparently, years later, I ran into this girl, Erin, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I haven't seen you since high school." I was like, "Oh yeah," and she's like, "You know, I never really got a chance to talk to you about that thing." And I was like, "What thing?" And she's like, "You don't even remember." And I was like, "I don't remember." Apparently, I liked a guy and she liked a guy and he was paying more attention to her and I threatened to kick her ass. And I don't remember ever doing that. And that is so not me. But then as she says the words to me, I was like, oh, I did do that. I did do that. Oh my God, I can't believe I did that. That is so embarrassing. But I did that. So I would say for who I am, that is the worst, obviously. But I was lost.
Oh, you've got to double down, though. You're a shithouse. I would have fucking doubled down and been like, yeah, I fucking mean it.
And I am going to fucking kick your ass. And I know what you did. And
When you said it, were you drunk? Was it like
no. I think I was just, it was just at school. I was just acting tough.
Yeah.
Did you do it in the most Canadian way ever? Like, I will thump you.
I will.
Why are you not?
I'm so sorry, but I am going to. If you talk to him again, I mean it. Yeah.
I will say some words.
I will say some
That's
words.
scarier though. That calm, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck you up.
I will kick your ass.
Yeah, we talked about this on the Ishan Akbar episode. He mentioned he did a night in jail. And what was the sentence he said to the guy?
Please, it was a road rage incident, and he was fuming, and he said to the guy, please don't. I can't remember what he said.
It was something like, for your sake, please stay in your car.
Yeah, it was something
which
along
is
the lines
so
of that,
much
like-
more intense
Yeah.
than I'll fucking kill you. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Please
it
don't
was.
get out of your
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
If you act like you are in control, then you are in control.
Yeah, and long story short, Ishan was right, and the guy stepped towards him, and Ishan spent a night in jail.
God.
I thought you were. I thought she was gaslighting you at first. You know, I'm that on your
Nope.
side, and you seem that nice. I thought she was gaslighting you.
I
into
thought so
thinking
too.
that
And then
was
she was
okay.
saying, and I was like, I did say those words. It's embarrassing. That goes to show that you can block things out enough with time and marijuana.
Is that the worst thing you've ever done? Because that's still quite like. Chill.
Oh, he's trying to get like, there was a
I want
hit and
the-
run incident.
We want to crack you, yeah. I was like, I was drunk drove, and yeah, so rest in peace. You know what I mean? That's what we're after.
I'm trying to think. I think like as far as like me affecting a person negative, I mean, other than family.
Changing to someone's life.
Other
forever.
than family, yeah, I was like, I just threatened to kick the shit out of somebody. That's what I remember. I've never done that before. I mean, I'm sure there's worse things.
Says a
I've
lot
done.
about us where we're like, oh, that's boring. Like, you know what I
No,
mean?
I don't think it's. But I just.
No, I mean like it's pretty like mellow. compared to-
Tame.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like you don't strike me as someone who's wronged someone deliberately. Do you know what I mean? I have. I have wronged.
Yeah, I've not wronged. I've wronged. My best friend gets mad at me. She says I lead girls on to become friends. She's like, the problem with you is you're too nice. And then all these girls think they have a moment with you. And then you're like, yeah, let's get in touch. And then they all reach out and you are like, who is this person? Like
You're fucking ghosting people.
I don't mean to, but I just get along with people. And then like, she's like, so you got to stop that niceness. Like no more of that. So I guess that's a bad thing I do. I have a tendency
so
of like.
funny that you're so friendly that you lead friends on.
I don't know. I'm like, oh yeah. Like,
I just love the idea of them going, I made this great new friend today. And then he's like, why won't she call?
and here I am like, who are they? You know, yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I guess that's a bad thing I do. I'm working on it.
Okay,
though.
so let's set the scene.
To all those girls out there who are looking to call me, I'm working on it. All right, I'm working on it. Yeah.
I want to know, do you have it in you? Let's set your scene. We were talking in the car.
Yeah.
Let's set the scene. You go home tonight.
Yeah.
And Danny, he went under the big shop.
Yeah.
And he's put all the vegetables in the outside.
Oh, yeah.
What's your reaction?
Oh.
Bit of context, we were sat in the car and I was a real dick to Beth today. Beth turned the temperature down on the fridge, which in turn made the freezer too frosty. Yep. And then the door slightly opened and now we lost all the food that we bought yesterday.
It's all gone.
But I was a real dick to Beth. Beth, I'm sorry. But the point being, I mentioned
we talked about this in the car, Beth.
I did the exact same thing like 2 months ago, pretty much. Beth was totally chill. She did it. I was like, why have you done that, you knob? Do you know what I mean? Like, I was a real dick. And so Allyson was like, no, I do get it, though. It is annoying. Danny does this. So
he's put vegetables in the freezer and I have lost my shit. Like, now I have to throw these away, you know, and like really when I look at it, it's like 3 pounds worth of vegetables.
But deliberately put them in the freezer.
No, just like doesn't remember and puts things, you know, and he's even put the groceries away. Like, why am I getting angry? Like I ordered groceries in the house.
Because I think you might need to go to the doctor's.
There's 2 fridges and I'm just saying the outdoor fridge freezes everything.
It's cold. Oh, so
yeah.
it is well.
Yeah. So now we know. So I would lose my mind. I guess the other thing that drives me crazy, I don't know the one thing that, and I think maybe there's just 2 types of people in this world. Those that use laundry hampers and put dirty clothes in them.
Yeah, we do that. Yeah.
And those that just put dirty clothes in places.
Yeah.
Oh, when I said we do that, what I really should have said is I do that. My partner's the other type of person.
Oh, see, that's what I mean. It's not even a sex thing. I'm not going to say men do this with people. There are 2 types of people in this world: those that use the laundry hampers and those that don't, or those that even put things by the laundry hamper.
I thought there's 3 types of those people because we have the laundry hamper. We just call it the washing basket. But the laundry hamper. We have one of those, and then every night we'll take our clothes off and we'll put them in the corner, and then in the morning we will put them in the laundry hamper.
You put them in the hamper.
So we're sort of.
Okay, but you've got a system. You've got your systems.
Just because, like, when it's 11 p.m., that extra 5 feet of walking, I can't be bothered.
But you know what? I can't get mad about that because I'm a person all about systems. That's why I'm like, I like your system. You too have developed a system. I have systems. I also move things a lot to create better systems, but I also don't tell Danny when I move things. And that I know annoys him. Because I was like, what do you mean, where's the sugar? It is more efficient for the sugar to be. And he's like, yeah, but I don't.
Yeah, you didn't tell me.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, sorry about that. Or like I move things of his and I'm like, aren't they just much better there? Like I bought remote control holders that you just stick on the wall because then we can just pop remote controls and then they're But seriously.
Are you like really organized or like Stacey Solomon levels of organized?
I wish
Does
I
that
could
mean
be.
anything to you?
I wish I could be.
That?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're
like
talking about. She hangs. I love her system of hanging things, crisps. Yeah.
I can't get on board.
Organization porn, yeah.
I'm really autistic and I like things to be a certain way and neat and
but
stuff.
It's stressful to get there. It's stressful to get there. Yeah,
that's so much. Like she genuinely has a washing line in her cupboard that she hangs her crisps on.
Hey, I love that she has a washing line of crisps. Can we just talk about that? How many crisps does Stacey Solomon really eat? That inspired me to see a woman that looks like that eating that many crisps.
Well, maybe that's the problem. She's got so many she can hang on a washing line.
She's not finishing them. Yeah. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I don't need a washing line for crisps then. Yeah. I like your thinking. Thank you. Yeah.
Like I said, more than just a pink shirt.
You're so insecure about that pink shirt.
I'm not anymore because Allyson gave me the props I needed.
Nods.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so another question.
So I just wanted to. Are you the lever of the clothes on the washing basket or the?
Oh no, I don't want to point fingers. Yes, I do. I put my clothes in the washing basket.
Yeah.
Danny is.
This is just the hate on Danny podcast.
No, I love my boyfriend. He's wonderful. He's the best. I just have learned to. You learn that you need to readjust your expectations. You accept a person for what they are, and you don't expect them to change. and you adjust. You cannot control people. You can control how you react to people.
Yeah. Daniel Sloss has a great line in his special Jigsaw where he says, how does it go now? He says, it's not like a comedy line. It's basically just like him stating a point. But he goes, you fabricated a version of me in your head, and it's not my fault that I don't live up to those expectations. And I think that's so true.
It's,
you know what I mean?
it's like,
And vice
But
versa.
at the same time, she shouldn't have turned the freezer down.
Well, no, and vice versa. Yeah. But we all live and we learn. We all react poorly, and we all, look at you being a better person and saying you're sorry, which you are.
I wouldn't call it that. She's still going to be annoyed at this.
I like how he apologised to her on the pod so he doesn't have to do it in person.
I know, but I said it out loud.
I'm going to buy her flowers on the way home. So I did feel like
and then
shit.
what is the tag? Just going to say episode 18, 43 minutes. Just leave it.
Soz Beth. When we put the episode out, hashtag sorry Beth. Like, just, yeah.
Joe, after all the years of moaning at Rebecca for not putting her clothes in the washer, like yourselves, I've just kind of accepted it now. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But it worked out in her favour this one time because I got really drunk and came home and...
Did you pee in the...
I thought the washing basket was the toilet.
Yeah, you peed in the washing
but
basket. That's
all my
really good. And it was only your clothes
All my own
that got
clothes.
peed on. Yeah.
They got peed on.
That is so deserving.
I know.
Oh
Justice
my God.
was served, wasn't it?
I hope Daddy never hears this. One day he might pee on my clothes and be like, it's not my fault, is it,
I'm
baby?
going to quite literally send him the timestamp. I'm going to message him with just a link and, skip to 43:14.
Because I know what else I do too that probably drives him crazy. Because I am a little bit, I'll admit it, I am a little bit of a pot smoker. I do it regularly. And so I start things and I often forget them. Like I will often you want a cup of tea? And then 3 hours later, he'll be like, so I guess I'm never, that cup of tea's never coming. And I'm like, oh, sorry. But he'll see a mug and a bag on the counter. Yeah. Like I intended to do that, but then I looked at my list and I needed to do something else. And then,
Basically, what it was, I just found a more efficient place for the tea bags as I was putting them back. And now that's just, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you.
I redid the counter. Doesn't that look good? Look at, open that cupboard. Open that cupboard. Yeah, I get very excited.
Look at how clean the sofa is.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, clean sofa.
So do you think, this brings us to the next question. Do you
Yes.
think that's your most embarrassing moment? When the woman sort of approached you and was like, hey, you said this to me. Have you got a most embarrassing
definitely my
moment?
most embarrassing moment is when I fell on stage and fell off the stage.
Amazing.
100%.
Fell on and off.
100%. Yeah, because
the same gig.
Yeah. Down and then off.
Do you have dyspraxia? What's wrong with you?
It was so bad.
You fell on stage.
And then off the stage.
So your stupidity defies gravity.
Boom, boom. Yeah. Boom, boom. To be fair.
Sorry, I'm misunderstanding. Did you fall going onto the stage and then as you came off, you fell again?
So I was on the stage and I fell.
That's less ridiculous.
But then fell off the stage because the stage is a raised stage. So boom, boom.
Was it at the Frog?
Yeah, I had a tumble. Yeah.
Was it at the Frog? Because that's
No.
you could be dead right now.
Yeah, I mean.
The only thing that's
If
good.
it's at hot water, no big deal.
Yeah, no. The only thing that's good, it was in a dramatical piece in university, so that was great. It was
So you
just
weren't the only one on the stage?
No.
all right,
Which did make it worse though, because then the rest of them are
They have to react to it.
trying to maintain that they are still in a Victorian piece, but guess what?
Penelope?
She is on the floor.
Take it ill.
Exactly. That was great. It was great. I have fallen getting onto stage. That's more. Have either one of you fallen getting onto stage yet for comedy?
No.
Not yet,
No.
you know,
Mortifying.
but
It's
it's like genuinely.
It will happen.
I stare at my feet as I walk
Do you
on.
count? You look at the ground. You
I'm
suss
just
things out.
step.
Yeah.
There's
I
a
think starting at
guy
the Frog helps that, doesn't it?
Oh, the Frog is I do love the Frog and Bucket, don't get me wrong, but it is the weirdest stage in the world, like narrow little stairs, and you're like, am I okay? Am I okay? And
Beat the Frog, some of my first gigs, so that was literally my introduction to getting on stage. So everything
tiny.
else in comparison is kind of like
Pretty easy.
But I stare at it.
The stairs of the Frog and Bucket stage are the caravan doors of stairs. You know what I mean? They're so thin for no reason.
And there's so many for how much space there is.
Yeah, it could be one step and then another, and then you're there.
You're like,
There really is.
yeah.
So weird. And then the meeting of the, does the compere come, or should I go up? Yeah, I'll go up and say hi to the comp. Or you meet in the middle and you're like, oh, well, we're in trouble now. Yeah, it's a very interesting thing.
How did you save yourself on this then?
Oh, there is no saving. There's just getting back up on the stage and going.
How did you carry on?
Do you have footage?
No, thank God, because I went to university at a time we didn't record things.
Such a shame.
Back in the day where you could make mistakes that nobody knew, it was
That's
a dream.
terrifying.
Until
Isn't
you
that
tell them years
terrifying?
later on a podcast. I fall a lot. I just roll my ankle. I'm an ankle roller. The biggest thing I can say, if you're going to fall, always go limp and tuck your head. That is my number one.
Experience?
That's my key. I want you to know that.
Stop,
if you
drop,
think
and
you're
roll.
going to limp, tuck your head. It's survival. Yeah. Limp took your head. You'll be fine. You'll
By
make
the
it through
way,
anything.
conspiracy theorist in me doesn't know if it's true. Apparently, when you brace and when you, sorry if that sounded terrible with the mic when I moved it, but when you brace, that's supposed to be so that when you die on impact.
I heard that too. Yeah, I heard. Do you know this position? They say
So you go rather than survive.
apparently it's so your neck breaks and you die quicker. I don't know how true that is though. It's proper tinfoil hat, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't have any flying
Facebook
issues, do
told
you?
me.
No, not at all. Not well. I mean, I do now, but I didn't. I did not. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to seeing my family in Canada. That's gonna be great.
Well, depending on how you get on with your family, it might be a way out of it.
Exactly. Every time I get on a plane now, here's hoping.
Yeah, or worse, your plane's going down and you're sat there. Hey, no, I heard on a podcast that actually you don't need to do that, guys.
Don't worry, it's fine.
And you're the only one
If you
that
want
doesn't
to
survive.
live, don't assume that position. I'm arrested. I'm taken off the
Yeah,
plane.
yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, you survived, but you were arrested shortly after. My God. Well, this has been so much fun. I appreciate you coming on.
My
If
pleasure.
we do this at the end of every episode, if you're new to the podcast and you've come because Alyson's on, we do a section at the end called Off Your Chest. And essentially, we just invite the guests to get something off the chest, something that's happened to them this month, this week, this year. And they're going to have a little rant about it. And have you got anything, Allyson? Have you got anything you want to get off your chest?
Yeah, I for sure have one. This just came to me, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this. As a train traveler, as a public transport traveler, we were talking about this.
Heavy on the transport. This
Yeah, because I don't drive, so cool, and probably I should. I know you're all going to be like, learn how to drive, then this is a problem, and I'm sorry, but people who listen to their music or talk on their phone or watch something on out volume, like output volume, so we all get to be a part of it. What
Really
are you
tough,
doing?
yeah.
Stop talking on the phone like that. Stop listening to music. Grandma doesn't listen to DMX. She doesn't need to listen to DMX. Maybe I like him. I'm not in the mood right now for DMX, right? Like, are you fucking kidding me? People still do that all the time. I get on and they're like,
Let's go give it to you. First we gonna rock, then we gonna
All your ladies
roll.
pop your pussy like this. So your body don't stop, don't miss.
Man,
don't get me wrong, love it all. But maybe right now I'm just in the mood for like, I don't know, maybe I'm listening to like, I don't know, maybe I want my Lizzo, or maybe I want to listen to like, old school. Maybe I'm in a TLC like
Waterfalls.
Yeah, Waterfalls is good. I'm even old school, like Ain't Too Proud to Beg. But like maybe I'm listening to SWV. I don't need X right then. Neither does Grandma. So I don't need X right then. I don't. So don't give it. And it just drives me crazy. Just the audacity. Like sometimes I want to just buy extra headphones to be like, is this the problem?
Yeah. Like on a flight, like
this-
$5. Give me a $5. You can have
Is this
these.
your problem? I'll just give it to you for free. Here's ones I got for free on a plane. Please fucking use them. Like, outward noise.
That's so Canadian as well, though, isn't it? Like, I'm annoyed, so I'm going to give you a way of
Here is your
fixing-
solution.
Free gift.
Yeah.
So that you can better yourself as an individual.
Please become. Yeah, exactly.
To
no
play
one.
devil's advocate, though, I was once on a plane. What am I talking about? On a bus. And I remember it so well. And a guy was listening to his music, and out of nowhere, Sweet Caroline came on, and the entire bus sang Sweet Caroline.
Really enjoyed
and it was a
it,
great
yeah.
moment. Felt like I was doing, what did they call them in the States? They do them when people start dancing all at the same time.
Oh, like a
flash
flash
mob.
mob.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it felt like I was on one of those. Yeah.
That's a nice moment in time.
Yeah, on the 192 to Hazel Grove. Someone's like hitting the button. The driver's going mad because he's having to stop every 2 seconds for no reason. Yeah,
I
that
could
was-
not imagine that in Stockport. We're at the Hat Museum.
Yeah.
Like just cruising along. Yeah.
I completely back what you say. I'm on board with you.
It's gross.
But have you ever like found an exception to your rule? Have you ever been on the bus and someone's playing a song and you can't help but vibe to it? Like
Sweet Caroline of the bus.
No, but I have started to be that person. I don't always pull out my headphones if I'm in a taxi. I've watched a couple of things and I'm like, oh, I'm sure this poor the Uber driver, but I don't fucking
feels
want to
like it's
watch
your
this
fault
right
or
now.
something
Yeah,
like
like
Yeah.
I'm watching it right now. I'm doing it. I just
Spoiling
sorry, I
Breaking
need to-
Bad for him. He's like,
I'm
fucking
sorry,
hell.
I need to take
I've
this.
got no self-control though. I don't get taxis a lot because I drive, but I've got no self-control. And if I was on TikTok, I'd be like, fucking hell, mate, have you seen this?
Like,
I thought you were going to
check it
say, like, scooch up, mate, I'm driving. Don't got no self-control. You just
No,
take
but I'd be like,
control.
oh, look at this dog. It's a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be my most.
Have you seen the
aggravating.
videos on TikTok where a guy goes over to a random person? He's like, "Well, I'm just gonna go to the toilet. Would you mind holding this?" And it's like a speaker, and then he walks away, and he's like, "My neck, my back." Just like you were saying, that starts playing.
My pussy and my crack. Yeah.
And he just starts playing. The woman just like has to like, oh no, like she's like 73 years old, just has to drop it on the floor.
Roll your tongue from the.
Yeah, I don't think like I see it a lot in the States. I don't think you'd get away with that in London or something, or in Manchester, because I'm just going to throw your speaker against the floor.
Oh, so annoying.
That's for making me look stupid. You know what I mean?
do it, though.
And then there'd be all those comments like, "Oh, he didn't pass the vibe check." No, I didn't.
The vibe check.
No, I didn't. That's
Is that a term?
yeah, all the time on TikTok. Yeah,
The vibe check.
yeah, the vibe check. You didn't pass the vibe check.
Well, there are a lot of people in my
I
world.
have something I want to have a rant. You've just reminded me. I'm so sorry.
Do
Can
it.
I make this
Go,
off your chest
rant.
about me?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. But
Yeah, you just taught me vibe check. Go.
By the way, you passed our vibe check. You came in all positive and happy. I think you've done enough negativity.
Thank you. I've spread
Yeah.
enough negativity.
Yeah,
You genuinely
you
fuming
committed
about those people on the bus. I felt it.
Because it is annoying.
You're committed to the
fuck
cause. I went to
guys.
Asda yesterday, you know,
Yeah.
before Beth defrosted all the food, but you know, that was...
But he's still sorry. He's still
yeah,
sorry.
I'm still so sorry, by the way. Do you know what? The worst part is, like, she was at work and she was on her lunch when we had this conversation. I'm saying all of
you
this.
called
She
her
might
on
be
lunch.
more annoyed when I get home, and I might be really misjudging. Like, in my head, I'm going to buy her flowers on the way home. We're going to laugh about it. It's going to be fine. What if I get home and she's like, I really don't like the way you
we
spoke
need to
me.
talk.
And then
we
this
need
drops
to
5
talk.
days, 6 days later, and she's like, okay,
That's it.
it's all coming back.
You've had the word with yourself, and you've seen the error of your ways. She's not had the word with you,
Yeah,
so you
yeah,
are going
that's
to go
it, yeah,
feeling.
yeah.
Do you know what?
So-
I feel so much better about before.
Yeah.
She's still in it. She hates you right now. She hates your guts.
Anyway, I'm
We've
getting
really
warm.
solidified that in his head now.
I'm getting warm. I'm getting so warm. Unlike the freezer, which was really cold. Which she ruined. No, we went to Asda yesterday and we used the self-checkout, and we obviously, because we're normal people, at the end we clicked no bags.
Yeah.
I swear to God, the woman came over and was like, "You've clicked no bags, you have some bags, do you want to follow me?" Like, full on, was like so dicky about it. And the whole time in my mind, I didn't say anything, but the whole time in my mind, I'm like, you don't get paid enough to give a fuck.
Are you? Why
Yeah,
are
You know what I mean?
committing
She
so much
dragged
to
me
this?
over to the other thing, scanned 3 bags, and made me maybe pay for them 90p.
Like, here you go.
And I was just like, "Are you fucking?" I just did it and didn't
That's
say
one
anything.
way to get a commission,
And
innit?
yeah, but come the fuck on. Like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? Like, I've back to TikTok, but I've seen videos, and Beth said it as well. We've seen videos where it's like people, I work in Tesco, and you know, I'll see a young mum just throw something in the bag, and my eyes are closed when she does that. You know what I mean? Like, you are not paid enough to give a fuck.
Yeah, I worked in retail and would let shoplifters walk past me all the time. I'm like, what's up?
For sure. And there'll be people thinking, oh, she's just trying to protect her job. And I totally get that.
Sure.
But no one cares, really. No. It was Sunday afternoon. There's no managers there. Like, what are we doing? Like, no one's really bothered. I don't think I've paid for a bag in my life until yesterday.
Hold on. I've done this wrong in my head, because when you said I press no bag like a normal person, my idea of a normal person is
That he had bags?
someone who carries a bag for life.
Yeah,
Oh,
So here's me thinking she forced bags on you for no good reason. So you were a dickhead robbing a bag and you got caught. That sounds like
No, what you've proved there
Justice
is
to me.
What you've proved there is actually you're not artistic enough to forget the bags. And what she did to me was a hate crime.
I'm picking on your disability now. Yeah.
We've all learned. We've all learned
I
new
was
perspectives.
so heated because she was such a dick about it as well. And I'm just sat there like, why are you bothered? Why are you this bothered?
Maybe Janice is like, I am going to get that new job. I'm going to be the manager. I'm going to get that raise if they see I'm busting on bags.
All that happened is I said to Beth,
supervisor if the bag numbers are dropping when you're on the self-checkout.
Yeah, they're like, ever since Janice has come on board, we've saved $3 million in bags.
which is about
Janice.
£1.4 million. 10 years you've been here. Get a grip,
Janice
Allyson.
stepped in.
Get a grip. But no, like, all that happened was she didn't actually save too many money, because all that happened was we got back in the car and I said to Beth, the amount of shit I'm going to steal from there next time. Like, all that's going to happen is I just throw her fucking Ben & Jerry's in the bag on the self-checkout. With, I'll scan that through with some tomatoes.
No, be fair. Only steal 90 90p worth of stuff.
Is that
way.
the cut-off period?
Well, that's your get back. If she charged you 90p,
Yeah, but then then we're even. I don't want to get even. I want to get
karma
one
though.
up.
Oh, you're right. You want to spread negativity.
Yeah,
I won't be coming in here with my karma shit. I'm sorry,
What
everyone.
are you doing? Get on brand. Get
No, I was doing good. I failed at this now.
Vibe check.
Vibe check failed.
Reality is, I'm just trying to look big. I'm too much of a pussy. I'm probably just going to steal a curly whirly, and I'll be like, oh, look at how fucking good I am. And then it'll get stuck in my teeth, and I'll be like, fuck you, Karen. Like, I'll be so annoyed. I just got so heated. I was like, you're so, like, how are you this? But we live in Oldham. We don't have any money. Let me have my bags.
Let me have my bags.
Like, stop being a dick
We
about it.
live in Oldham.
That doesn't happen in Waitrose, and they steal way more.
Oh, yeah.
Like, for sure. Do you know what I mean? There's no one kicking off about bags in Waitrose and M&S and Debenhams. That doesn't happen.
But rich people steal because they know they can. They know no one's going to challenge them.
They threaten to withdraw business otherwise, innit?
I will not come in.
Back here. I'm going to tell all my friends on Facebook.
Yeah. I'm gonna, fucking. Yeah. Well, this has been loads of fun. Anyway, thanks for letting me hijack your off your chest.
All the time, anytime.
Your next week's off your chest is I fucking hate being interrupted. But no, this has been so much fun. Thanks so much for coming on it. We really appreciate your time. Have you got anything you want to plug?
Just always come see me. Go to my website, check things out. Follow me on anything. Allyson June Smith. Allyson is spelled weird. Allyson. How about that?
Exotic.
Yeah, it's exotic. Because my grandma wanted a Y instead of an I because it looks more posh.
Less
French Canadians.
No, I never said it. They said it, not me.
Je suis son, June Smith. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, I don't either.
Oh, fucking hell.
That's great.
Quick, give us 3 things that you hate.
Okay, 3 things I hate. Licorice. Licorice number 1. Sweet popcorn. And
Blasphemy.
the
The French. Thanks so much for watching.
No!
Guys.
No!